And 1, 2, 3, and welcome to the Leafcast, a first-time reader show based on the epic fantasy series Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. My name is Ryan, and I'm currently very distracted by my... Dan, you're in paroxysm of dance. This is the most dance I've ever seen out of you.
I'm not dancing. It's a secret.
Oh no! Oh no! All right.
Hi, I'm Ryan's brother Dan. Welcome to The Way to Leaf.
Yes, this is The Way to Leaf. This is episode 162, and we'll be covering chapters 21 through 24 of Crossroads of Twilight. Things are picking up, brother Dan.
Yeah, indeed. These chapters are a little bit better than they've been. We have so many points of view now.
Yes.
And we get Rand back.
And
first time in this book.
More importantly, a Catswain POVs.
Oh, more importantly, yeah. And even more importantly, an Elsa point of view.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how busty is Elsa?
I'm thinking probably 6.9.
Okay, 6.9. All right. On that strong joke that
was for Jono.
I give a 10. Let's bring in our guests. They're here, they're ready, they're just... We have the most procrastinating group of first-time readers, Dan. Literally just finishing up right before...
Right, we're seeing them read, like, they're like, we're like, hey guys, how was your day? They're like, shh.
I know. And it's like, this is not the least exciting way to start a show. And they lived... Okay,
happily ever and
yes.
They all finished at the same time, which is really amazing too, right?
Yeah, we're all just the slowest. Totally the slowest.
Hello.
Hey, as an ex-teacher, I can't. You cannot get away with hiding behind the book and vaping in my class.
But I was flicking you off and vaping at the same time, and reading a porn magazine. I mean,
I'm saying, where was your
reading a Terry Pratchett novel.
I think next show you guys should all read the final sentence aloud so that you can truly finish. Like we can all hear you finish. Hubba.
That's a drinking obligation if I've heard one.
Hi guys, it's been
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Crispy.
Yes.
Gary, how was your week?
It was good. Vacation was awesome. It was too short though. I wish I could stay longer, but it's so expensive to stay there.
Vegas is such it's weird to think that people live there sometimes, right?
Oh yeah, super expensive.
Well, and it's just like this weird like fantasy land at times too.
I feel like it's not that expensive to live. I think it's less, unless things have changed in 20 years. I don't know, maybe that could happen.
Oh yeah, no, the Las Vegas area has blown up in 20 years. Okay.
Has it? Fuck.
Yeah,
wow,
North Las Vegas used to be like kind of the boondocks. Now it's like now it's the sprawl.
It's like what's sprawl? What does that mean?
It means expand, sprawl.
The sprawl. Yeah.
You know, the sprawl.
All right. Sure.
Florida's got lots of sprawl. That's the only reason I know.
Well, it's a sprawling state for sure.
Orange doesn't the OC have sprawl too? And
well, OC and LA, yeah, that's all sprawl. Mm-hmm. That is all sprawl.
Are you talking about the TV show or the council?
Inland Empire is like sprawl, right?
Yeah, Riverside, all that. Like it used to be Corona was super far. Now Corona's like not.
I feel like this show is...
Now it's Hemet, and then Hemet will be...
sprawling out of control.
Yes,
this show is sprawling over its borders of topic.
Ryan and I used to have to drive to Vegas a few times in our youth for vacations. This is where our parents like to go. And Man, I bet you, Ryan, that drive has changed. I bet you it's still desert. I mean, the desert hasn't changed, but I bet you there's a lot more shit out there.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'm assuming
If there's
I'm
no
sure.
water, you can't build shit. So
I think Barstow is probably just happening. I hear they have a water park.
Barstow just used to have that McDonald's that was in a train. Remember, that's all they had.
Oh Jesus, I don't even remember that. I just remember.
They had a train and they put a McDonald's in it. All right. Anyways.
Dan, we're so white. We were scared to drive through Barstow.
derailed already. Yes.
Oh my god, that's so funny. You were afraid to drive through Barstow? I remember those days. I remember being afraid to drive through Barstow. I was stranded there overnight once. It was terrifying. What?
Lock the doors. There's hillbillies.
Yeah, that was. They had tattoos and tank tops when that wasn't hip at all.
No. That was not like
This
urban
is true.
shit.
It was. It wasn't hip at all.
It was not, and
To
they
you,
were super
it was hip.
Yeah.
supporting that.
Not you.
It's like MAGA before MAGA.
Oh man,
Anyway.
mega MAGA.
So I'm glad you're back. Did you? What was your most fun thing that you did in that city?
You'll probably laugh at me. I wanted to go to the Hello Kitty Cafe.
Cool.
Nice.
They have these really cute themed treats, like brownies shaped into characters, little puff pastry things, donuts with the characters on them.
I could
And
have
then you have
sworn
the
you were
coffee.
talking about a strip joint.
Hello Kitty.
Hello, Kitty.
Hey, kitty.
Why, hello, Kitty.
But I will say this. I mean, I love seeing the Bellagio for the first time. I never got to see that when I was a kid because it wasn't there,
Mhm.
a while ago. But first, Vegas bucket list. I did see a prostitute in the elevator one time, and that was interesting.
Nice.
Old store. Sex worker checkbox on the.
Did you ask
Yeah,
her how
She
much?
was wearing a nice, elegant dress, and she was with some dude, and they were.
How did
getting
you
paid.
know? How did you know that's?
I had a feeling, like 99% sure.
Yeah.
She smelled like
Success.
vanilla.
I don't know what she smelled like. My whole family was on one side of the elevator, and they were on the other, and it was just like, okay, this is.
Carrie's
wait,
like,
wait,
I was
wait.
getting hot for her, so
If
definitely.
unless
That's
she's
what-
actively blowing him in the elevator, I do not believe you can assume
That's
that an
correct.
attractive woman is a lady of the night.
I
You
believe
could have
I've
been
been
saying
mistaken
so.
for that many a time. Just kidding. I'm just
Maybe
kidding.
he was like, maybe they were doing negotiations right there in the elevator. Right?
It's so possible. This is why I ask, because if there was, I want to hear the whole.
He's like,
story.
is it
I want
extra
to hear
for
all
anal?
the. Yeah, she saw. Yeah, you couldn't afford for me to stay the night. It's all a
Alright,
pretty
so
woman
there's-
moment, and he's like, "Yeah, try me."
All right, so now
Remember
we're
that-
back to this.
that-
They want to know about your pants situation, Carrie.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
Yeah, pants or no pants? Like, all right. I mean, what
I
do
was
you?
expecting this from Dovey, but not from Ben,
Ben, don't be
I know,
creepy,
Ben.
Ben. Gross.
Jeez.
Ugh.
Gosh, so many
Oh
details.
shoot! I forgot to start the Instagram stream. Okay, we're going live on Instagram. Let's check it out.
Oh, now we're gonna blow up. Now we're going viral.
Oh,
We're
so-
going
Hey,
live.
Carrie, I saw pictures.
Well-
You were also right outside of the sphere.
Indeed.
Tell me about the sphere.
Say that again?
The sphere that
That Trump
The sphere.
and the Saudi
The-
Arabian
the
president
big-
put their hands on.
no, the
Wait,
big-
what?
The sphere, the SPHERE.
Oh, the sphere. Oh, that big sphere that just came
Yeah.
out like a couple months ago. Yeah, so at the end of our driveway of our hotel, you could see the sphere in the distance, and it was pretty cool because they always have things going on around it. They have advertisements, they have cool artistic presentations on there. I don't know how to describe it, but it
Video
was pretty cool.
Video.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to go up close to it, but definitely from a distance, it's still pretty awesome.
You know, you gotta be pretty awesome to make a statement in a city that is known for making statements. You know, I mean, there was a volcano, there was a whole pirate boat battle that was going on the street. There was all kinds of shit, and yet the Sphere, everyone is still just, whoa, look at that thing. So it's got to be amazing. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I heard it cost a lot of money to make. I don't remember the exact figure, but I want to say it was several million or even billions of dollars to make.
Billions of yeah, but that guy's an asshole too. He's the guy who owns Madison Square Garden. He's a big dick, but that thing is pretty cool. Anyways.
Yeah, it was 110 degrees the last day I was there, but you know, there was no humidity and it felt wonderful. And then I stepped out of the airport back in Cleveland and it was like so humid. It was like, oh my God, like I want to go back.
Dry heat is just so much more enjoyable.
I don't know.
As a Florida man, saying this here, so.
I didn't realize that we're in Cleveland, Carrie. That is super humid weather. Oh my goodness, but so beautiful.
I mean, it's not as humid. It's not humid every day here in the summer, but there are periods of bouts where it does get humid. And obviously, I think Florida, when I went there to Disney a couple years ago, it was more humid there.
Wait, so why don't they call it a wet heat? Wet heat, dry heat. Wet heat, dry heat. So much more simple.
Too easy.
Why does dry heat not have its own word, but humid? You got to be like humid.
Humidity. Well, no, I like it. I'm down with it.
And
someone
just wetness.
You know, you think about like in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, like people were moving to New Mexico and Arizona and Nevada, where no one was there because, like, for rheumatism and like because it helped them breathe better, and they, you know, like all that stuff too.
Yeah, that's true. This is, I think we are absolutely breaking a record for most interesting show so far.
Rheumatism. What do you think? Pros or cons?
Speaking of breathing, how many kilts have you owned in your life? And what age did you get your first kilt?
Kilt?
Yeah.
I've only had one. I have one kilt. And I wear it during live shows.
What?
You have one quilt and you wear it for 3 days in a row? What?
I have one kilt that I wear as a live puppet, and I wear it around, like, you know, if I'm going. I've probably worn it.
Easier to access your control holes when the kilt's on.
This is
the kilt is its own beast. It has pockets that are like small trunks. Like, it's bigger than a Miata trunk, some of my pockets. And so shit gets lost in there. I end up just with big poofy sides because I have all my stuff in my pockets. It just doesn't look good.
All right, everyone in chat is being big babies. Humidity.
Big babies.
Boo-hoo. It was like 105 degrees 2 days ago where I live.
I would wear a kilt, and it would probably be more refreshing if it was 105 degrees for sure.
Orion.
Ryan, next time I golf, I'm golfing with my sons on Monday. I'm wearing the kilt.
Dan wears a fanny pack under his kilt so he looks like he has a big package.
Ryan, that actually is his.
And has my wallet and my keys and a pair of socks and a banana and my son's lunch.
All right,
guys, you want to? Should we jump into these chapters?
Oh, hey, real quick.
Is everyone good?
Carissa, you did not see this comment.
Oh, yeah. Echo, you're so right. I mean,
those are her colors.
She never wears them, so.
I'm like, I'm just going to mail her a pair.
I'm just going to make you some, okay?
And how come,
this is a blanket, but I don't know why.
I want a special word for male panties. Underpants is just so literal. It's under the pants. I get it.
Panties.
They're under the pants.
Why not?
Manties.
Manties. Wait, yeah, yes, please.
Manties. Nice. Nice
Sure.
job.
Well, actually,
Manties.
Danties. 'cause,
Obviously,
like,
I have a name brand of panties.
obviously, P
No
is for
panty.
pussy,
Hey.
Danties. D is for dong. Dong.
D is for dong.
Manties, patent pending.
Danties.
Yeah, I call them my Tommy Johns.
Your
Tommy
Tommy John.
So funny.
It's so fun. Yeah. No, Dan calls it his fanny pack. his front fanny.
Hold on, let me get.
Oh,
Yeah,
gross.
just let me get my AAA card.
Yeah, briefs makes no sense. Briefs.
Fanny.
There's nothing brief
Ugh.
about it. I wear them all day.
They are
They're like
brief.
the small
yeah,
clothes.
they
Small
come
clothes
off
isn't
real
bad.
fast. I'll tell you that.
I like
Small
manties.
Manties.
Now, Mandy's is obviously the brand name, like Kleenex.
Yeah, man panties. Yeah.
Obviously.
Mandy's are just the Kleenex name for them.
You gotta
But yeah,
pass-
they are called briefs.
Small clothes. What if
clothes.
you're 6'7"?
Yeah.
Nothing small on me.
They're still tiny.
Ryan, by the way, did read
toddler
Jansen's
underwear
text.
next time, Ryan.
Respond to that.
Wait, what's that? B-dizzle?
Oh, read Jansen's text about being 6'7". You're gonna earn money.
Yeah. Okay. No, you're right. I saw that. I didn't know if I get to LA and such.
No. I think you just have to answer questions. It seems like.
What?
What? Okay.
Read it. All right, let's jump into it. Chapter 21.
Yeah.
All right, so we have been our last few shows have been kind of continuations. We've had Egwin kind of going through. This is Alviarin, and I'm not entirely sure of the time where we're at. Where do you think we're at in the story here?
I did not even think about it.
Um,
Assumed we're kind of like at the same mark.
I'm thinking it's after all the other events because there has to be some time pass involved because Elida knows stuff about her now.
Mm-hmm. So we have Alviarin. Alviarin
This
is
is the first Alviarin POV we've seen in this book, right?
I believe so. I cannot say for certain.
I think this is the second POV of her ever. There was one in a previous book where she said that she was the head of the Black Aja, and then this one is the second one since then.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember what book it was, but it was.
And I think it was like a sub point of view. I think it was not even
It's a
an
very
entire
small
chapter.
section of it.
was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a little piece of it.
So is
go ahead.
Alviarin being the record keeper, the keeper,
Guys,
a byproduct of the Black Aja getting Elida elected as president? I mean, right? Like, was she put into power so that Alviarin could be in the position she is?
Totally. Like she's there to keep a watch on everything, and the keeper knows more than the Amelin sometimes.
And has more control in a weird way, yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, real quick, we got our first viewer on Instagram. It's Cliff Flack. Cliff
Hi.
Flack is in the house.
What's up, Cliff?
I think he's
Mr.
already left.
Flack.
Maybe, yeah, he left. Never mind. Cliff left.
Oh.
Right, Cliff?
Damn it.
Bye,
Yeah,
Cliff.
why Cliff?
Why Clef Jason?
Why Cliff?
That reminds me, Black Eyed Peas, I guess, aren't touring this summer after all.
Okay, really?
Oh.
That was
You
like
mentioned
a
White
non sequitur on a non sequitur.
You mentioned Wyclef.
Hey, tell someone who
I-
doesn't
I
like, hey, tell someone who doesn't
understand the
like
reference.
music, Dan.
Let's get it started.
Oh!
Let's get it started.
All right.
I mean,
All right,
so
Guys, power
Alviarin-
is complicated.
if Alviarin is was planted there, does that change anything about what we make of Elida? I always kind of thought Elida was the big baddie, but this chapter made me rethink that.
I
Or at
don't
least
think I don't think Elida was ever meant to be the big baddie. I think she is basically a big puppet for other people to be in control. But the question is, at what point does that person stop becoming useful and they want to kill them? I mean, I don't know. Like, I can't remember. Did she say that she wants to kill Elida? I think she said that a couple times.
Yeah, Tumasana.
She does mention that. Elida.
She's just whining about her. Yeah.
Elida. So, she mentions that it's weird that Elida is meeting with these sitters. And she's like, "Oh, she met without me giving her permission. That's really weird. I got to send them away." And instead of Elida, I guess, let's get to that. So, Alviarn travels into the deepest part of the tower because no one should know where that she knows traveling, right? She's trying to hide that from everyone. Masana told her, said, "Don't tell anyone." We learned that no one goes to the math section of the library like ever.
I felt insulted by that.
Oh, speaking of which, your intro today, Dan, made me wonder. So, where is disease in this universe? Like, we've never heard of anyone being sick.
Nope.
Except for the Wolf Brother guy.
Nope. No, that's mental. This is physical. We in book 1, Nynaeve said one of the Coplins.
I remember the Complin. They had the house where they isolated people, but that was book 1, which is also where Rain literally steps over a fucking house.
Well, okay. But Egwin almost dies of bone break fever.
Okay, there's bone break fever. Then there's also that weird ringworm shit that everyone got. Like
there is.
What ringworm?
No, it was like there was like a word. There was like some sort of like disease that the Coplins got because they either said it. It was either
also in book 1, right?
Oh, I thought that was the crops, right?
No, it was crops and something physically happened to the people. So there's two things. They got hit with two things.
Could it be that those diseases are genetic code? I mean, so we've seen viruses or no? We've seen
nothing like that yet.
We do see that
we live in like a far future genetically engineered paradise where there is no illness other than these few things.
Well, there are certainly a whole lot of healing people for very few illnesses then.
Right.
I think that they probably have the same ailments that we do, but there's just certain people that are more magical.
We've never seen any of our heroes get a cold.
No, you're right. Yeah.
No.
Like, there was the fevers that Rand got that was due to his channeling, and then there was like the feverish condition Matt went through when
he got the dagger.
Oh yeah.
When he got the dagger.
Yeah. These are good points. Yeah, there's no.
Elena gets headaches, and that's not an unheard of thing.
Right, but there's no like what are the counter medicine. I mean, I get that they're like healers and blah blah blah, but like it's just weirdly implemented. Like you'd think that someone would have a deadly virus or have some sort of debilitating disease by now. We're fucking 10 books into a world-building universe.
Don't forget, they all took the booster, man.
And nobody has cancer. Well, I mean, we also don't have like diagnosticians like we do, now. Right. So like, how who's to say these people?
Well, which is what makes it even weirder. They don't have plumbing.
What?
They don't have plumbing, and no one's sick. Tom was sick too.
Oh yeah, Tom was sick, and yeah.
In what book?
Early on when they were
before it became about other things. It's just I don't know. It's strange the way that it's not part of the narrative,
I think it's happening behind the scenes. We just don't hear about it, like in the narrative of what we're reading. It's probably there behind the scenes, but we're just not reading about it.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows?
I don't know. I would expect to see some evidence of that in at least one of the characters having it, if this was like built properly, right? Like,
and this world just may not have plague. I mean, that's
or cancer, or
maybe they're getting sick off page when there's a time jump and we don't read about it. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Like everybody knows biological warfare is way more efficient.
Well, mulled wine is loaded
you don't have to win the last battle if you just deploy.
Go ahead, Ryan.
He just released COVID.
Old
On
Agreed.
here agrees with you. He doesn't write it well. It does seem that he's more apt to talk about like a mental illness being expressed through like physical, like deprivation, whatever. But
I only mention it because I think it gives credence to my genetic engineering theory.
Nice.
Okay.
So
That's where that round hole and the square meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone's been genetically engineered for magic and to not get sick.
Ooh, everyone.
I like it.
Well, not everyone, but the people who can cast magic are either genetic aberrations from the genetic engineering or were engineered genetically, Manetheren blood, to do magic.
You know what? Have we seen any Dark Ones or Forsaken, though, get sick? Or Black Aja, like, in any way?
No, there's really no real talk about sickness at all.
Yeah, I mean, so if you're old, you're just gonna get a heart attack one day. I mean, you're not gonna get cancer. You're just like an organ's gonna fail, right?
No, you're gonna die in a blaze of glory, Dan.
Okay.
You're gonna go out swinging like 10
At a Trolloc, yeah.
Yeah, no, you know.
Well, it's true.
Okay. I hear you.
I mean, obviously there's cannibalism in Trollocs, and if they don't have problems, well, clearly there's no viruses in this world.
So let me ask you. We have let's
move on.
past that. Yeah, let's
They
move
don't
past
even
that. We have Alviarin. Alviarin is an Aes Sedai who, and we talked about this in our text chat a little bit. Josh, you had mentioned how you thought Baron was some triple agent who is the dude playing the dude pretending to be the other dude.
I think that she intentionally either
the
was
triple
researching the
Lindian
Black
style.
Aja and got swept up into it, or went to the Black Aja intentionally and became a member so that she could research it.
So we
Either
have
was
all the
researching, fucked up and got in, set up, had to go join, or she joined in order to research to learn.
So is Baron having regular meetings with Masana?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Who is her minder? We don't see Black Aja just willy-nilly, man. They all like have accountability. They all have like weekly meetings saying, all right, so
we learned a couple books ago that the Black Aja is structured a certain way where only like one person will only know like a couple other, and then that person will only know a couple others. So the only person who knows everybody, I think, is Alviarin, right?
Right.
Correct. However, but there's still accountability somewhere within this. So it just seems like she's just rogue, just do whatever the fuck
she
she
getting
wants.
her orders from?
Right. Is she being visited? I mean, she's been all over this world.
She stays out of the way. I don't think she's like directly connected to any of the Forsaken because they just show up and tell her what to do. But I think she's in the Black Aja. Probably not that high. Probably like, so we've seen Varen lie, presumably. Insofar as she told early on, again, book 1 or 2, she told Rand and Perrin and Matt that Moiraine had sent her. And later on, we learned that Moiraine is like, no, I never sent Varen. She did it of her own accord. So we've seen her lie. Presumably that means she isn't held to the 3 oaths, which presumably means she's a dark friend.
Okay.
Or she never got the 3 oaths, which seems weird given that that's not something we knew about happening before our current 3 heroines who were raised.
Right. I'm just looking at the dark friends that we have seen points of view of. They seem pretty micromanaged. And so it would seem odd to me if Varen was a Black Aja, why is she then so...
Well, no, that's not true. Think back to, like, Padden Fane. He was like...
Yeah, that's true. Padden Fane.
He's off on his own accord, doing whatever the fuck he wants. I'm not saying that Padden Fane's Black Aja. But I'm just saying they're counterexamples.
Okay.
To every example. I mean, I agree that there does seem to be some sort of hierarchy. Because we certainly see that with the Forsaken, even amongst the Forsaken themselves. what's the name of the head baddie? Directly under the Great Lord.
The Nameless?
Nameless, yes. So there's like the Nameless, and then there's the Forsaken, then there's the Chosen, then there's the right. So it seems like there's some sort of pyramid scheme going on for sure.
Wait, can you see me?
No. We can't.
Oh, weird. Okay, I did not know that.
You know, I had heard someone say that that Bella may actually be a dark friend, and then she would be the Nameless.
That might be your finest joke. I give that joke a 10, Dan. It was timely, original.
I realized today during the intro music,
Can you see me now?
Hector
Yes.
is the original Bella.
Who is?
Hector from Meat Pizza Sandwich.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, that's funny.
Hector is the original Bella. If you go back and listen to the intro music for the show today, he's like,
No,
It's
that's
just
good.
like-
That's good. Yeah. Guys, there's 50 people watching right now. Let's say hi to everyone.
Hi.
And if you
Hi.
haven't
Howdy, y'all.
already, if you're watching on other platforms, come on over to YouTube. It's more fun here. And we get to see your
And Discord.
comments.
It's lonely in Discord. I think it's just me and Dovey right now.
Yeah, just get on YouTube. There's only like 13 people on YouTube. Get on, and then you can chat, and we can see you and hear you. All right. So,
So I have a thought about the beginning of chapter 21 that I wanted to talk about.
yeah, please.
Awesome.
So when Alviarin steps back into the dungeon of the library, that whole sequence was really cool. I love the descriptions. I want to talk about where she was for the last month. She had some type of red mud on her skirt that she was trying to get rid of. She was on some faraway island with the sea folk. Right? So what is
Which
that
is-
all about?
I think it's the island. I assumed it was the island that we saw in the end of book 5 or 6, whatever it was, where the Xianshen fled to after they lost the battle with Rand.
The quote
Was it
here says she
an
channeled
island or a sea folk island? Like,
Yeah,
It says-
so the Xianshen took over a sea folk island after fleeing Rand after the battle at Dumais Wells. No, was that Dumais Wells? No.
maybe.
The big
Wait, are you talking about Fighter?
the
Like,
rain appeared in the sky.
book 3,
Falma?
maybe?
Toman Head?
Yes, Falma. Thank you. Tomenhead. Yes. After the Tomenhead battle, they flee. And we get this, I think it's book 4 or book 5, where we get this like prologue where the woman who was in the palace, the Shanshan woman, what's her name, Ryan and Dan?
The Empress May she live forever?
Not the Empress, but the woman who was underneath the guy who died, who was in Falma.
Sarath? Haile Sarath?
Yes.
Okay.
We get like a Sarath POV,
Okay.
but I don't know.
It's been,
What did it say, Dan? What did you want to read?
It says here that she says, quote, it seemed unlikely that anyone would recognize it as coming from Tremonti, the largest of the Sea Folk Islands, but someone might.
But someone might wonder where she had been to get muddy.
Yeah. Heyo. She goes through. I liked, actually, Carrie, to your point, I liked her precautions that she made. She spread the dust behind her so it looked like no one had walked. She muffled the sound of the hinges so they wouldn't squeak.
And then she talks about the library itself, and as she's walking through, she mentions that there's a 13th depository where the secret records are kept. And I'm like, I wonder what's there.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
There were apparently only 12 official depositories.
And they reference the secret records all the time, right? Like in these chapters, they reference them. One of the Browns is like to Elida, she's like, if you had read all of the secret records, you would know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It just seems like there's more going on in the library than we're led to believe. Like, there's probably a lot of stuff going on that we haven't even uncovered yet.
It's like a Hogwarts library. I mean, it's floors and floors and floors of books.
Hey, Brother Dan, I started a poll.
Beautiful white marble floors, apparently.
There's some comments about whether or not like we can recruit Instagram people to be dark friends. I'm like, wait. Are we dark friends or light friends in this community? So I put it out there.
I'm wearing a freaking
dark friend
Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Of course, Beauty is not a dark friend.
Dan, all of our first-time readers are dark friends.
Dan, you're amongst enemies. Shadow Pal's here, bro.
Yeah.
Look, this is a Shadow Pal safety pool.
All right. Hi, my name is Brother Dan. I'm a Shadow Pal. Hi, Brother Dan.
Bad
All right.
default.
Brother Dan. No, we actually say hallelujah because there's nothing wrong with it.
Hi, I feel no shame. My name is Brother Dan. Here's my social security number. Here's my date of birth. Here's my...
Yeah, and there are no third options. Pick a fucking side. Dark or light. It's not hard.
Dark or light. Dark or light, guys.
Light. Yeah.
You don't get to be like by.
There's no baroning this situation. I don't know if Justin doesn't understand.
I only go with the winners. Fuck you all. I'm out.
All right. Dark Friend Social over in Discord.
All right. So we have so Abrianne's like, oh shit, Elida wants me, I need to go to her. Fine. She goes in, she's like, oh, look at all these sitters. This is shitty. Elida just debases her right in front of her. She's like, oh, hey daughter, funny you should come back. Go stand in the corner. She's like, nobody puts baby in the corner. She's like, stand in the corner.
That was an awesome moment.
And she's like, oh shit. She's like, oh shit. Because she's like, yeah, if I just said, whatever I say, I could like totally have her like dethroned right now, unless she knows I'm Black Aja. Oh shit. So she goes over to the corner. She's like, I don't know what to do. They hear about like, all right, are we gonna?
How long ago did we see the scene where they torture the Aes Sedai, the potential Black Aja with the Chair of Truth thing? Y'all remember this?
Yeah, I would say it's not.
A book ago? 2 books?
I think Albion is gone.
2 books ago?
2 books ago? 1 book? Yeah.
Well, hold on. I thought they were doing it I guess they're doing it so currently then, because Albion was gone when they were doing the hunts, correct? Because Elida sent them on because Elida had left, I think. Didn't she? And so Elida said, all right, hey. Oh, wait. Was it Elida? Yeah. I think I don't remember. Maybe not. But I think it was after Albion had left. Anyways.
So, I mean, the point being,
anyways,
they're torturing Aes Sedai to find out who's Black Aja.
Right.
It's not inconceivable that Elida could have learned at this point who some of the Black Aja are. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct. I mean, she probably knows, but we didn't see that happen in the books, but we can assume that she already knows some information that they...
Or is this the psychosis of a Shadow Pal? You know, is this the paranoia that sets in when you're a double agent? Because Elida hasn't actually shown her hand.
Yeah.
At this point, it's all conjecture within Albion's head that Elida knows anything.
No, you're right. I think that the way that I read it, at least, was that it's more so her being paranoid. than anything. Like, I don't think she has any real reason to think that Elida knows, or, you know, like, there's no evidence. She's just up in her head, and that seemed like a very traumatic event. I don't know if you guys heard the Audible version of this, but Kate Redding's voice for Massima, yeah, was
Massima?
fucking amazing.
Masana.
Fucking incredible. Like, seriously, amazing. She switches voices and just does this raspiness to it that's epic.
Well, no, that's when the Murdral comes in.
Yeah.
She's like,
I've never listened to the audiobooks.
Wait, wasn't the Murdral the no, maybe it wasn't that. No, okay, because Massima gets bound up, right? And it's the Murdral that turns into the Dark One, right?
This part was confusing.
We find out that whatever that Murdral's
the other
name
one,
is.
the Murdral one, the Murdral voice was the one that I'm talking about. That voice is epic.
This dry and raspy.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's good.
So yeah, let's first before we go on, a quote, and this is the first of the day. Taishar, quote, her fingers stroking faster on the turtle.
Yes, love it.
On the turtle?
On the turtle.
On the turtle.
You know,
you should have just said stroking fast and then stopped.
Gosh.
Turtle.
He's having a hard time getting on board with this one.
The head pops out.
Yeah.
It's like,
What's turtle?
I would regurgitate into my glass right now if I could.
quote,
Alright.
in her skirts, Alviarin swallowed.
Turtle.
Jesus.
All right.
Squirtle the
I've
turtle.
got a few underlined for you as well.
Okay.
Are you done?
Yep.
Okay.
Wait,
Tall
let's
white
change the
shaft.
music. Wait.
Taishar.
Yeah.
Taishar music.
Breasts bobbed.
Breast bobbed. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, what does this say? I wrote it down really fast earlier. Pressing something end of the rod hard with her thumb. Anyway, I can't read the second word, but something like that. All right. And then, do you want to watch? Huh?
Yeah! Taishar!
Thank you, honey. Forcing her jaws wide.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
She writhed there,
Yeah, that
Writhed?
works.
standing
works.
naked and helpless. Shaking visibly
Yes.
and opened her mouth. You're welcome.
All right. Taishar.
Okay.
We find so.
Hang
go
on,
ahead.
I had one too.
Oh wait, we're back. Sorry.
Told her of another marvel of the Age of Legends that she wished very much to see. A thing called a lift. Sorry.
Oh no.
Oh, that background's cool.
All right. Quote: rocking back and forth with her hands. Quote: she could not stop rocking any more than she could stop the low moans that trickled between her teeth.
Nice. That's a good one.
Quote: Alviarin swallowed her.
Her fingers fluttered. Did you already get that one?
Nope.
Nice.
Quote: her legs felt like water.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right, and that ends Taishar. So yeah, she, Alviarin's like, all right. Elida's like, you ain't got shit on me. You ain't got shit on me, girl. Fuck you, and fuck you. And I'll take that stole. Thank you very much. And you can all just kiss off into the air behind my back. I can see them stare. So Alviarin runs to. I don't mind.
Okay.
So Alviarin runs down to her apartments on the 8th floor. She goes in. She starts packing her shit. She gets out. She gets out of a box. She gets a Drangro, like a little I don't know. You got to push a button and channel into it, and it's like a help me button.
Yep.
And she's like, oh shit. It's like an emergency. Like break flat in case of glass. Press this
emergency.
and channel air and water. So Masana pops up. Masana's like, yes, what? She's like, my cover's blown. I'm fucked up here. I need a split. She's like, you ain't going nowhere. You're just gonna get your butt beat. That's fine. That's no, you're fine. We don't need to keep her. Fuck you. We're fine. And in fact, she's like, all right, fine. I'm gonna kill you. And then in comes this babe, this lurk, she calls it. And
great word.
It is like,
what is that?
what does it say? So she says, Masana says, who are you to challenge one of the chosen? Masana demands.
Well, it's interesting, too, that she sees Masana's true face.
Oh,
she's
right.
Like, she sees Masana, and she's the woman, and she's like, I don't recognize that as the ageless face of any sister. So she's not seeing Masana's projection of herself as she is in the White Tower, but she sees her true face. I just thought that was fascinating.
I didn't even catch that.
It says, a tantalizingly familiar woman who looked just short of her middle years. She had known Masana walk the tower disguised as one of the sisters, and no chosen she had met showed any signs of agelessness. But she could not match that face to any name.
Wow.
So does that mean that she recognized her as a sister?
No, she couldn't put a name to it. My read was that
tantalizingly
she didn't recognize her. That
So Masana says, who are you to challenge one of the chosen? The Myrddraal says, do you think Hand of the Shadow is just a name?
That's such a great line.
He says, you were summoned and you did not come. My hand reaches far, Masana. And then she's like all whipped up, her clothes go down. He's like, do you want to know why one of the chosen must be punished? And he says, do you want to watch? The Myrddraal smiled again. Many have fallen from great heights for wanting to know too much. It flowed toward her. Not it. The great Lord, clothed in the skin of Myrddraal, flowed toward her. He walked on legs, yet there were no other description, and touches her on the forehead and says, you've been marked.
I love this part.
Go ahead.
Real fast, just when he says, who are you to challenge one of the chosen? Masana demanded contemptuously, then ruined the effect by licking her lips.
Yeah.
I just loved that. I'm sorry.
I mean, well, let's drink to that. Let's tie a
Also-
shot to that.
Licked her
Also,
lips. It also says swelling in size. In the
Ruin
next
the moment by
paragraph.
licking your lips.
It says lurks are, this one was twice as tall or a foot taller or whatever. And also the source was gone. She was not shielded. There was simply nothing there for her to embrace. So is this the dark one, guys? Or is this the Nameless? Is this the General MacArthur or whatever? Or is this the
Can we
the head
clarify
man?
though, like who is there that we know? So like there's I feel like I get confused every time that I feel like it might be the Dark One or it might be like a main lieutenant type of the Dark One, and I just don't know how many there are now. So like there's Nameless, and then there's like the actual Dark One, and then there's a bunch of Forsaken. But is there another like head lieutenant in there?
There's someone who the Shaidar Haran was the name of that super fade, right?
So that's who this is.
That's the mirror, but that's the Nameless. He had said that he was the Nameless.
That is
when he talked to someone,
Shaidar
right?
Haran and Nameless are one and the same.
I don't know. Did he call himself Nameless?
Aren't there two people claiming to be Nameless?
Maybe.
Well, Shaidar Haran and
Super fade.
Like Demodred or Moradin?
Ishi's reincarnation. Moradin.
More than okay. Wait.
I was super faded last night. You know
I
what
love
mean?
super fade.
He's fadeless.
Super fade.
Super fade.
Super fade.
That's what I get.
Okay, I'm going to go out on a
Wait.
wild theory and say this is not the Dark One. The Dark One is bound. Until we see all those seals broken, he is not out walking among us.
Well, there you
Okay.
go. Okay, so then this is Shatter Huron, aka Nameless. Maybe.
Well, the real name is
Maybe Nameless. Maybe it's just Shatter Huron. We don't really know then, huh? Oh wait, Echo Sedai says Shatter Huron is not Nameless.
I know, but we don't know that, and we shouldn't be correcting everyone. Yeah, we.
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't need to be like. Let's
what do you
let everyone like
think that,
ponder.
what does
and no one
Josh think
answer.
though?
Yeah.
Does Josh think that Shatter Huron is Nameless, or do you think there's two separate?
I think that was implied in the narrative. Yeah.
That they're the same.
Yeah, and I personally think this is the Great Lord.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah.
I think he is out because we've already seen a bunch of the seals broken, and nobody understands why or how.
Oh.
We did
The
miss
source was gone, guys.
Well, and that's true too. I mean, that's a whole bunch. We should get into that later. But the fact that the taint is gone and that like Rand can't even take credit for it is so fascinating.
Yeah.
Right.
And even if he did, he doesn't think anyone would believe him.
Well, would they like?
And does he want to reveal that he has the fucking Shodan call? Yeah, it's like there's so many levels to like why he can't say anything about it. But I do think Shaidar Haran, the Great Lord, was channeled through Shaidar Haran here. Yeah.
I don't know that
Okay.
character name. God Morgon.
Oh my God. Anything else in this chapter that we wanted to touch on?
I have two things.
Please.
Really quick.
Start
The first
touching.
thing was I really like that paragraph where she reminisces about her conversations with Messina, about what she told her about the Age of Legends. You know, we get the elevator, the skyscrapers, and the airplanes, from what I could tell how she's describing them. And it's just so interesting to think about how this is like a post-modern day world that they're in. And a lot of times we are so far away from that we don't really think about it too much. And this is like right there front and center. Yeah, that stuff used to exist in the Age of Legends. So the question is, how do you go from the modern day world to magic?
Yeah, well, that's why I think it's genetic engineering, and I mean that's exactly why. This is a science fiction novel. It just looks like fantasy.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that now. And then the other thing is,
Did you
really
see
quick.
the Mercedes emblem, Carrie?
I'm sorry.
Did you notice the Mercedes-Benz emblem back in the museum?
Back in, there were several things in that museum that were pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah.
That was a really cool chapter too in that book. Did you guys catch the part where Alviarin is hinting when she's reflecting on her own thoughts? She mentions that she was the one who helped shape this current lot of sitters. And I know that came up before where everybody was talking about how young these people are. They seem out of place. Well, now we kind of know who's more bully.
Then. Yeah.
So I kind of picked up on that. Other than that, I think this is one of my favorite chapters in the whole book. I don't know if it's because I'm Black Aja, but you know, it was just a very cool chapter.
Yeah. And again, I won't beat it at the point, but there's so much micromanagement going on in the dark side. They got cameras. They got cameras everywhere, guys. They're
Where's the
watching.
micromanagement? There's retribution. Where's the micromanagement?
Well, because there's
Do you
Masana
mean
doing her thing. There's
but obviously there's not micromanagement because she's gone so far astray that the Great Lord's like, you need retribution for how far you've gone.
It's poorly done, but it's micromanaged to the point that they think that they know everything. And so when she's like, "Oh, Masana doesn't even know that I went to the site afterwards," nah. Look what I did. She didn't even know.
Yeah, I don't know that you can generalize the chosen controlling someone with dark friends in general, but I hear you.
Yeah. Let's jump to chapter 22. This is a short chapter. It's like 6 or 8 pages.
I know. It was like all of a sudden he stops writing long chapters. Like, what's going on?
Right. In another chapter, this would just be like a subchapter.
The acceleration of the end of the book, as usual.
Chapter 22, it is called One Answer. It is that whale bloop, bloop. And it is a point of view of Pavara. Pavara is... she's hanging with Pedra. Pedra says that Pedra leaves, and apparently she's going to be raised pretty soon. Cool, but she doesn't like men, so she won't be one of them or whatever it says. She's not one of ours, though. I think she's uncertain about men. I believe they make her nervous. They're like, oh, rats, she won't be us. Tarna is now the new keeper of the Crossroads. She's been raised, and I don't know if this was done before Alviarin returned or after. I'm not sure when that happened. But Tarna is now the new keeper of the Chronicles. They are talking about what's her name? Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. They're talking about Tabarin with the Dragon Reborn. And she asked the question, do you think he alters chance everywhere? Or do we change the future by ourselves, one step following another, until we find ourselves somewhere we've never expected? I guess this is the whole crux of our question about Tabarin, right?
Right, yeah.
So when I read that, I thought that was kind of... I circled that. I'm like, fuck yeah. Let's see. There's talk about the Ashaman. There's they're talking about recruiting men to follow the dragon. Wield the lightnings, they call it. So there's recruitments and almost like propaganda. She's like, wields the lightning. Almost sounds freaking rad. It doesn't talk about the madness. It doesn't talk about any of the bad stuff. You're just going to be able to wield the lightnings and ride the thunder. She's getting a little nervous about that. Alida is in just denial about the whole thing. She thinks that they can all be gentled. And this is all about like them bonding. I mean, bonding the Ashaman. It says that Alida is not a very good manager here because he says, all right, the only choice, it says, all right, the unthinkable spoken aloud in Tarna was the woman of stone. This is hardly a matter for joking. The only other choice is to let them run loose. Who else can do it? Red Sisters are used to facing men like this and ready to take necessary risks. She's saying that this should be the new focus of the Red Aja, is to bond these channelers. Brought it up to Alida. Alida would not hear of it at all. She forbade me to mention it to her. He said, either way, I can see no other way to handle these Ashamen. And they're like, well, all right, I guess we're going to that's kind of the point. The Red Aja decide that they are going to be in charge of the Ashamen. End of the chapter. More or less. Sorry about that, guys.
That's gonna that's bound to go really well.
Yeah.
That sounds like a solid plan. Elida's so smart.
Elida really, yeah. She doesn't have her head up her ass at all.
Although I gotta say, when she's like, I'm planning to forge these bitches into a hammer, like to use as a weapon, that was a pretty badass line. It sounded great.
It was.
And like, if like it's almost like if a man said that, it would be like taken so differently. But if she says it, and you're like, oh great, you're just being tyrannical. We see a lot of examples. But she's headstrong for sure. But man, like,
she's like, I've been called worse things than unconventional. I think it was.
Yeah.
Right. She's like unconventional.
Where did Elida get this? It's almost like a drastic change. Like,
well, no, this wasn't Elida saying this. This was what's her name? Tarna, or no? Who was talking to her? But it was someone else. They were talking that Elida wouldn't even hear about it. Yeah, it was Favara talking to Tarna.
Yeah.
And Tarna's the new keeper. And Tarna's one saying, yo, this is what the Reds got to do. And Favara said, well, what did Elida say? And she's like, yeah, first day I got into the job, I mentioned it. And she said she forbade me to mention it. So Elida is closed off. She thinks that they can all just still be gentled. But it's Tarna who thinks, yo, we got to think differently. We actually got to fucking bond them. And that's the only way we can control them, because they're too powerful and there's too many now.
what do you guys think of that plan?
I think it's a bold move, but I just loved how she mentions, can you talk to Elida, please? You're very unconventional.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I love Pravara so much, is because she's probably the only Red Aja sister I like so far, because she's unconventional. And I just love her, even though she has limited screen time in the book so far.
Yeah. Screen time. That's great. I like that. Page
I do
time.
have a Taishar here, quote, dipping her fingers into her.
Yeah, nice.
Taishar?
Taishar.
Oh, I did have a...
Sorry.
Sorry, I have a quote in here after you're done with your drinking obligations.
No, that was it.
Oh,
Just
okay. There's a part here that I flagged that I thought was kind of important, where Tarna is talking to her, and she's talking about, do you think he alters chance everywhere, or do we change the future by ourselves, one step following another, until we find ourselves somewhere we never expected?
Yes.
And this kind of goes into that whole Josh discussion with Taviran and stuff. I thought it was very interesting.
Yeah, and it was well put, the way she put it as well. I mean, we've had hours of discussions about it, and we still don't know the nature of Tabarnis. And I'm glad to see that they don't know either. They're like, are we being pulled into it, or are they doing it, or is it just us doing it?
Yeah, but it's frustrating because I don't think we're going to get answers.
No, and I think recently we even had like Matt even asking that very question himself. He's just like, am I doing this? Or is this happening to me? Or can I influence it? Rand earlier is like, can I influence this?
But that's Matt.
For my advantage?
And if Matt doesn't know what's going on, I can kind of think that we might still find out. But with all these people not knowing what's going on, I'm really not feeling hopeful that we're going to ever find out.
What are shots fired at Matt? What is Matt?
What? He's just kind of, I feel like he's kind of oblivious sometimes to what is actually going on. Yes,
he's willfully ignorant.
Boo-boo. Get out of here.
He gets those color swirls and he pushes them away. He says, I ain't got time for you. Get away, color swirls.
I don't like flashbacks.
Speaking of color swirls, happy Pride, everyone.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, color swirls. I love that.
Be as severe as you want.
I love it. Yeah. Happy Pride.
All right, let's jump to chapter 23. Chapter 23 is called Ornaments. It has the dragon emblem. And it is a Cadswain point of view. The world looks gray and bitter from her eyes. She is in a room. A Baron comes in, and we have our second little meeting. The last time we had Baron and Cadswain together, Baron almost killed her.
Yeah.
Now we have Catswain's point of view, and we get to hear what she thinks about Baron a little bit. But Min is there as well. Yeah. So, what do you guys think about this conversation they had?
What is that line she says? That makes sense that all the other sisters treat her like this, but then why doesn't Varen? I don't have it in front of me, but it was very much like her trying to figure out why Varen is treating her differently than the other sisters in the camp or whatever.
I remember that, Ryan. Let's see.
While you're looking for that, apparently the city is just silly with sea folk. You throw a rock, you hit a sea folk.
So, wait. What would Todd say?
Whoa.
No, you said you can't swing your dick.
Oh yeah, you can't swing
hit
your
it
dick
back.
without hitting a sea folk. Yeah. Yeah. All right, you can't swing your dick without hitting a sea folk in this town. There's no doubt that Nesta Din Ries is dead, who was the mistress of the waves.
Buoy.
But Min pretty much just comes in and says, "Hey, listen, Rand wants to talk to you." And she's like, "Okay, cool." Baron rather says, "I believe the situation in Terra may be resolved peacefully." She says, peering into the fire, she might have been talking to herself or wanted Cadswain to think so.
Right. We see Cadswain's suspicion of Baron. Like, remember, when we saw Baron almost poison her, we stipulated that potential, what does it look like from Cadswain's side? Is she also suspicious of Baron? And we find out here that she very much so is. She keeps her distance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She also, we hear that she had given Baron some orders. So Baron was talking, she said, "I told you not to go near them." Cadswain broke in sternly. She's like, "Well, I didn't. I'm smart, and I just figured this shit out. Don't worry. But Cadswain was not pleased, and she says, she's like, "I got to go to the boy now." And every time now, after she gets to the Althor boy's room, every time she refers to Rand, it's the boy or the young man.
Yeah. Is this what you were saying, Ryan? You could not say that Baron glided, but she was more graceful than her bulk suggested. How much of her was deception?
No, I think this is probably what he was referring to, actually. It says, quote, "Nassoon was loyal to Elida, or had been, while Baron was one of those who wanted to pull Elida down, or had been. Now they talked amiably about snakes." I don't know.
Nope,
Baron's
Nope, that wasn't it either. Shit, sorry guys. Yeah.
Hello.
We also we learned that Catswain doesn't even know what all her ornaments do, guys.
That's crazy.
None of the ornaments protected against Tabarin, which is an interesting thought. We'll get to that, pin in that. But quote, "Of course, she did not know what two of the fish and one of the moons did, but it seemed unlikely they did that." Do you think there's Terangrial that can actually repel the power of Tavernus?
We haven't seen it yet, if so, but
we have a Terangrial that repels the one power.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think, Carrie?
I mean, so far we know.
Is Tavernus just something that can't be repelled because the pattern needs it?
I think so, but going back to the ornaments itself, I mean, we know that at least one of them can detect a man channeling, right? Or the power of a man. She mentioned in the chapter that she earned her ornaments in the Black Hills. What the hell does that mean?
Black Hills.
don't remember where it was in the chapter, but I had it in my notes.
Yeah,
so it
yeah,
was just a
she
very
did.
subtle thing that she mentioned. I'm like, what does that mean? So,
Yeah.
is it possible that she's holding on to some untapped power that we don't know about yet, and we'll later discover what it does?
69% are light friends.
Nice.
What?
Nice. All right.
Shocking.
In the poll at 69, right?
Well, let's keep in mind they finished the series.
That's
So
true.
maybe we learned something along the way that actually does blow our theories of like why the Darkwind is a better person than the creator.
Maybe. I mean, that would
That's
be
the only thing I can think. Otherwise, everyone's just an idiot. Oh wait, everyone is just a fucking idiot. Oh, most of humanity are idiots. Right. Mine.
Off to the Black Hills. I
might trade sides just for that comment.
All right, Taishar quote.
Wait,
What? What are we sharing?
we're gonna get.
Where is it on the map?
No,
Black Hills.
I'm doing my Taishar.
Here you go.
Why will you pull that up? Quote. Even the tightest muscle eventually yielded its meat once you got that first small crack.
Ew.
Taishar! Fat boy Taishar!
I firmly believe that Robert Jordan chuckled when he wrote that.
Even the
Oh, yeah,
tightest
so
muscle eventually yielded its meat.
The Black Hills right here in the middle, kind of up north a little bit in the middle, above Andor to below Candor.
Above and below.
Oh, I see it now. Okay,
Yeah.
on my book.
I mean, why do I get
Interesting.
confused again? I don't know.
The Black
So is this-
Hills.
Is this an area we haven't discovered yet with the people going there?
Maybe. I don't know.
All right, Taishar, quote. Saw her step out and stiffened, twitching.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's a
This
good-
is definitely. This is the nature of polls.
See,
It's hard
that's
to,
the nature of the polls, bro. Yeah, and dark friend polls.
Yeah, people were like, "Oh no way, I'm not going to vote for Trump," and then they're like, "Fuck yeah, let's go, Chaos Monkey, go!"
So true. So,
Yeah, if one
so
person,
unfortunately true.
if one person cannot lie and the other person cannot
Not lie.
but lie, yeah, you shoot one of them and then you say, "Is that guy dead?" And then then you'll know.
This is like just as good as making sure that a person's not a witch and letting them sink to the bottom. But if they float, then hooray!
Yeah, they're obviously a buoyant witch.
Right?
You fucking buoyant witch.
You're a
All
buoyant witch, so we're gonna kill you anyways. If you sink, oh man, she's innocent. Fuck, we were wrong. Oh well.
So here's where it says that. It says, quote, but 50 years would have meant that Norda died in her little house. Oh, sorry, that's Black Hills. Before Cat Swain ever went to the White Tower, there would, yeah, I do want to talk about this. So it says, Corella practiced linking with Damon too, but the Yellow was so focused on her futile efforts to reason out what to do. Sidon, she did that. What he did was Sidon that he could not have noticed the Dark One's taint. A pity she herself had not come to the Shaw 50 years later than she had, or she would have bonded one of the men herself and had no need to ask. But 50 years would have meant that Norla died in her little house in the Black Hills before Gad Swain even went to the White Tower. That would have altered a great deal of history. Do we have any idea what the hell this is saying?
That
Do we know Corell?
it's like if you killed your mother, would you live? Would you be alive? Kind of time loop, right?
Is that Norla? Is that who Norla is? Her mom? I don't know. It's just confusing to me. I don't know. These names are just coming out, and I was like, "Who the hell? Define your terms. Who's Norla?" Nah. Anyways. Anyway, I'm not a good reader.
I mean, I read it. Yeah, it's like a kind of
Dan,
thing.
you're the best reader.
No. So we have Cat Swain goes over and sees that some warders are training.
What page is
the paint? Well, it's ornaments. It's my page is 471 near the bottom. It says, "Have you decided yet whether the Althor boy succeeded at Shadow Logoth? Did he really convince a male tenant?" So that was Maurice talking, but then it goes into this paragraph that I just don't quite understand.
It's before Rand. Let's see.
It's where Lan is like fighting,
Yeah.
and still being awesome. He's like dead. Dead. Whoa. Dead.
Dead.
It's pretty much what it sounds like.
Dead.
Maurice is like, all right, so it seems that Maurice is Cadswain's, like, I guess, litmus test about as far as warders. She really likes how Maurice handles her warders. She's like, seems to, she has 3 of them. She's doing all right. And one of them is fighting now. But there's this thing. So it says that it says he's in a fury. It says, quote, not rage, frustration. She pulls out a pen, a sinuous figure in red and gold, like a snake with legs and a lion's mane. I do not know where the Althor lad got this, but he gave it to Jahar. Apparently for Ashaman, it's a kid to attaining the shawl. I had to take it away, of course. Jahar, he's still at the stage where he had to learn to accept only what I say he can. But he is so agitated over the thing. Should I give it back to him? In a way, it would be coming from my hand. Signed, Asshole Aes Sedai. Dear Asshole Aes Sedai. But yeah,
Brother Dan, what name were you talking about? Was it Norla? Norla?
Yeah, let me look. It's Norla. But 50 years ago would have meant that Norla died in her little house in the Black Hills. Norla.
Okay. Norla of the Black Hill people.
Norla of the Black Hills.
Of the Black Hill people. All right, I just love the idea. No, it's not the idea. The fact that our fucking nerd viewers are like just looking shit up. That makes me so happy.
Yeah, me too. But so this. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. Let me. 3, 2, 1. This thing that I read about the warders and her taking away a pin, because of course I took it. He's still at a stage where he has to learn to accept only what I say he can. What the heck? Did we realize this was part of Aes Sedai warder training? I thought it was more of a partnership. I didn't know it was a breaking period of like.
Well, this is Cad Swain, though, right?
No, this is.
No.
This is Maurice.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I read that and I was kind of disgusted. I'm like, well, yeah, there's not much of a difference between what, like, I'm not going to say, but it does seem freaking not cool. Yeah, it is. They are Aes Sedai dogs if this is how you're supposed to treat them. No, they only get treats from me. No. Please don't pet him. He's in training. See the best around him? Please don't talk to my dog.
Well, I mean, those vests are important, Brother Dan.
But, I guess they're important for warders too. This bummed me out that she took that pin. She's like, "Where'd you get that pin?" He's like, "It's mine." "Where'd you get it?" "From Mount Althor." "I'm gonna have to take that." Fuck! What the fuck?
Hey, this is just me totally throwing something out there, but could Norla
Go.
be? Wasn't okay?
All over my. I'm ready. I'm like ready right here.
Was Cad Swain on the farm? Was Cad Swain one of the girls? Do you all remember the farm
Yeah.
where the bad Aes Sedai were sent?
Uh-huh.
Wasn't there like a girl who died in like weird circumstances?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So could that have been Cad Swain and Norla?
Ooh.
Uh-huh. Were they okay, so
What?
were they running the farm together as a lesbian couple, and then they had a big fight?
All I remember is the Vegas details about, like, we never did find out Sarah,
Smile. I want you to smile for me.
I mean, are you implying that Cad Swain is a dark friend?
Well, clearly Norla died in her little house before Cad Swain ever went to the White Tower.
I
That would
honestly,
have altered a great deal of history. Like, she did something in order to get to the White Tower.
And that was only 50 years ago. And Cad Swain has been an Aes Sedai for longer
500
than that.
years. 500
Yes.
years.
So, All right, we're not looking for answers, chat, but I appreciate
Well,
you.
it says, a pity she herself had not come to the Shawl 50 years later than she had. It doesn't say 50 years ago.
I know, that's part of... I'm having trouble understanding that.
So, but 50 years would have meant... So if she had come to the Shawl 50 years earlier, Norla would have died in her little hills and her little house in the Black Hills before... Yeah, it's a fucking really confusing couple of sentences.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it gets weird there. And we're like, I'm like, is this stuff I should know?
No, that's Ace Sedai shit.
are you right?
Classic Ace of that shit.
Yeah.
Classic.
I'm sure it doesn't help them in the end.
So this would have been, what, like 400 years ago? How old was she when she came to the Shawl?
It was 400 years ago today.
And even if it was, why would that make a difference in whether or not she bonded Dahmer?
All right. Wallaholic saying 50 years earlier she'd take
She'd
a
have
war.
taken a war. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That part's clear. But who the fuck is Norla? And why does her dying matter about Cad Swain going to the White Tower? Maybe Norla's her mom? I don't fucking know.
Look, Cad Swain is she can
She's like
still
300?
like walk for long distances?
I thought she was 500.
No, I think some of the kin are older than she is, but I think she's about 300, yeah.
Cad Swain is something else. What the hell is going on?
I remember
guys-
something about 500, but maybe that was one of the kin being compared, because no one knows how old Cad Swain really is, because no one asked Aes Sedai how old he is.
You know what? Let's think about this. Just imagine that there's someone around who was here like before the revolution, like, or someone who was like around in the 1500s who is still here.
Right?
I mean, that's what we're talking about. Like someone like from the set, like Ben Franklin, but that's Cad Swain.
No, that's really helpful, Dan, because like this is such a crazy character, right? Like she's so powerful just by way of her having knowledge like she does. And then she's so respected too. Like she's what the fuck? I feel like she's
Respected or is she feared?
what?
Is she respected or is she feared?
Well, maybe, I mean, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Both.
I'd be scared of Ben
I think she's
Franklin if he came
respected
into
by
the
Like
room.
the other sisters,
Yeah.
are scared of her for some reason, but we don't really know much about that.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
definitely like strikes fear in the hearts of some of them. So that's definitely clear. Yeah, maybe she's more feared than respected. I don't know, but she's got so much power just by way of knowledge. It's crazy. I would think that if I were the Dark One, I definitely want Cad Swain in my corner. Like I would
Right.
try for
Yeah.
300 years to recruit that bitch.
Right.
Well, her accomplishes precede her. Like
Back it
just the history of the accomplishments alone. She's like
Yeah.
manhandled like queens, kings. Like she's like affected the politics of the whole land for quite some time. And she talked about it. We learned that earlier on. So like just that alone, if you just have never even seen her, you just oh my god, Cat
Well,
Swain.
yeah,
It's like,
her reputation
right.
is already there. They already know. Yeah, exactly. You're right. All those
I
things.
do like thinking of her as like Ben Franklin. If Ben Franklin walked into your room and was like curmudgeonly, is like, this
Right?
seat's uncomfortable, I'd be like, well, invent a new one, I guess.
Jesus.
Fuck you, Ben Franklin.
Hey, fuck you,
You've
Ben.
been around long enough to figure this shit out.
I would just start peeling off $100 bills that has his grumpy face on it.
Yeah, so and remember this, like, yeah, Cat Swain's 300. She's, I think, the oldest Aes Sedai currently. The Oathbride cuts their lives in half.
Right.
Yeah.
Ken can live up to, I guess, obviously 600 years. So
Something like that, yeah.
pretty cray.
Cray, cray.
But what's so funny about the Kin, though, and it just dawned upon me, like, these women are pretend like 400, 500 years, but just the thought of joining the White Tower, they're just like, oh, okay, oh my god, can I, really, oh my, they go all gaga, but they're like literally
Yeah.
like half
Like
a
being a
century old.
cheerleader or
Yeah.
something.
But there is this weird correlation between power and self-possessedness in the book, and maybe that's true in the real world too. But like, the Aes Sedai are so full of themselves.
So,
The Aes Sedai are so full of themselves because they're full of power. They're empowered, right? But the Kin are like older and potentially wiser, more and equally as powerful, but they don't have that confidence that the Aes Sedai have, right? They're, like you said, they're shuddered by them.
they're like Goodwill Huntings, right? They can do the fucking problem on the board, but they don't have the degree.
Uh-huh.
They're Goodwill Huntings. All of them.
Yeah, you like them apples? You like apples?
You like them out?
It's not your fault.
It's not your-
Not-
Brother Dan, it's not your fault, Brother Dan. It's not your fault that
Not
this
your
is.
fault.
It's not your fault that this show's
So awesome.
sprawling.
So
Aw.
So sprawling. This is the sprawlingest show, guys. We have
Rest in peace, RW.
66 views. This is we're doing great, having a great
Yes,
time.
Get your kicks.
Yeah.
So
what is the answer that Cad Swain got from Rand? What is the question? The answer that she got from the boy that she had to consider very carefully how to advise him on. Is it about the Sanshin and beating them? Is it about Warders?
Well, this is our first Rand sighting in this book. This is almost 500 pages in, and we finally get a Rand sighting.
Super fucking annoying, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how did you feel? I mean, just more of the same?
I was annoyed. I was like, fucking finally.
Yeah.
But also
Very-
kind of like, it took that
You
long.
know how I feel about Rand. He's one of my least favorite characters right now. I actually prefer other POVs than his because his are so complex. I have to think about what the heck is going on when I see his POV.
His POVs do demand a great deal of empathy.
I mean, the guy's hurting so bad. He's been through so much.
He mentions
he's really
that
messed
wound.
up. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, you have that fucking wound in your side that never heals, that always hurts. All right, so I had like a plantar wart on the bottom of my foot for like 6 months, and I put medicine on it, but it really, really hurt, and I didn't want to get the surgery because I was going to Spain, and I'm like, oh, I didn't want to get it cut out because I didn't. So I'm like, oh no, I'm just gonna take the medicine. I'm gonna burn it. Didn't work. It still hurt. I finally went and got the thing, and they cut it out, and it was like it didn't even hurt as much as like just walking on it. Every day it hurt more than them cutting the goddamn thing out. So but I got it fixed. But it was there every step I took. I knew it was there.
Yeah.
And it was a good so that like having something that won't heal like that hurts. I mean, it's not the same thing, but I pretend it is. It hurt.
No, I hear that. Yeah, no, I love your empathetic approach, Dan. Truly, like these characters, like are screaming for empathy. They do stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like they're frustrating. They're not perfect, and especially Rand. Like I agree with you, Carrie. Like Rand's like almost becoming unpleasant. Like
he's been unpleasant for a while, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, it's like the only per people he's like decent to are like the three ladies he's in love with. If he's like literally not in love with you, he's gonna treat you like he treated Loyal in book 1.
He's always stressing over them. I mean, we're kind of jumping ahead to the last chapter, but there's a few things I want to wrap up. I want to wrap up a few. There's one thing I wanted to mention in chapter 23, about the one that we're on. So we also learn more about the Sanchan and from Olivia and how their army is called the Ever
Victorious Army.
Ever Victorious Army, and how they may lose a battle, but they never lose a war, and how they always go back and rethink their strategy. And I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, they are relentless. And Rand is like, this isn't something I can just squash because everything is just a battle because they don't take defeat. Well, come on, don't.
That was a mistake.
I don't like that. He says, yeah, I can defeat him. And then he's like, don't worry about it. And then we hear word that all the warders are coming back from Kyrian. And he's like, well, how are they getting here? Well, guess what? Samash Man brought them. And we're getting into chapter 24. It is called a Strengthening Storm.
Strengthening Storm.
And it has, I don't know what we even call that icon, the black and the white. I guess it's Black Aja.
We've seen this before somewhere.
Brother,
yeah, we've seen it. I don't know what to call
illusion. Put it back up. That's an optical illusion. You see, is it two faces or a vase?
It's a vase. No, it's a skull. No, it's an old woman. And it is Rand's point of view. He's in his bed. He's laying in his bed. He's got Min snuggling under his arm.
Hot.
He gets horny. She says, nope. Quote, I'm sorry, Taishar. She had so many different ways of growling. And then he describes a throaty growl. Taishar, men. It says, so here, Luce Theron is getting a little bit more specific here, guys. Luce Theron's in his head, and he says, quote,
yeah, that's interesting.
Albiern would finish her, Luce Theron muttered. She's going to help us die. She'd remove Cadswain for us if you tell her to. Have we seen a cognizant Luce, aware of names and situations like this before?
I think he's been like that maybe once before, and then he suddenly turned out again. I don't know if he mentioned names, but he mentioned the situation. But I love LTT. He's one of my favorite sub characters. All the sayings that he has, like I love this one in this chapter. It says, "Trust no one," including me.
Right.
Yeah.
We also have him trying to grab the power when Rand reaches for the source.
Yeah, and Rand's like, wait a minute, was that him just again?
Yeah, trying to reach for it. What would happen if Luce Theron actually did reach? Well, could Luce Theron reach the source through Rand? You think, Josh, that Luce Theron is not a real person?
I think Luce Theron could definitely reach the source. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think, Carrie?
Say that question again. I'm sorry.
There was a danger that Rand thought that Luce Theron was going to take the source because he got sick when he like embraced the source, and he felt Luce Theron reach out for it. I'll find the exact line here. It says, I'll find it. Anyways.
But the question is, do you think that Luce Theron can access the source without Rand?
So it says, all right, so quote, in that moment of weakness, the dead man reached for Sidene. Rand could feel him clawing for it greedily. Was it harder than it had been to push him away? Could Luce Theron actually get the source from Rand? I guess didn't
we see this happen in another book where he helped him use the power?
I think we've seen where Rand was using weaves that he should not have known.
Oh, like he was kind of working through him to show him how to do it, or
right? But I don't remember like it being where
that
like,
Dumais well. Somebody mentioned in the chat it might have been a Dumais
that was in the Stone of Tyr when they were throwing all these things behind him, and Rand was chasing. What's a ravine? And Rand was chasing and just like dispelling every weave left and right, just and he didn't know what he was doing. He was just. But everything just felt natural and right to him, and he attributed it to Luce Theron, right?
I mean, I don't doubt that Luce Theron can like influence Rand, in ways, and likely even maybe help him in some ways. But I don't think
Welcome.
What's up, Kyle?
What's up, Kyle?
Hello, Kyle. Welcome. We're talking about Wheel of Time.
Oh, Wheel of Time,
Wheel of Time. Crossroads. What was I talking about?
I'm sorry. About Luce Theron, yeah.
No, I mean, I don't think that he can like actually grab the source though. Because I agree with Josh. I don't think he's a real person. I think he's in Rand's head. I don't know if he's like Rand's madness. Being called.
He's like a leech who's using Rand's power through him.
Yeah, but he can't like grab onto it on his own without.
All right,
Rand.
Josh, you suggested
Rand's
that
like
you think that it can't, right?
I think that if Rand lost the ability to push Luce Theron away from the one power, he would grab it. And he would use it.
Would it be Rand's madness? So it's like Rand's id would get the power and just go
It's
crazy?
like having another.
Well,
it's like alternate personality that's in there.
Yeah.
So if Rand can do it, then if Rand's body. So I guess this begs the question of what is it that channels? Is it the body or the soul?
Or the mind?
Luce Theron's quote soul is inside of Rand's body.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's in his head.
If Rand's body channels, then Luce Theron could take control of said energy and do what he wants with it rather than what Rand wants with it.
So
that's what I'm speaking about. Now, can Luce Theron grab the source with Rand's body? No.
Mm-hmm.
But if Rand channels and is going for the source and loses control, then Luce Theron, the psychological second personality could grab the source. Yes. I hope it's
Luz,
okay.
Luz
So
mentioned. Oh, go ahead. I'm
no,
sorry.
if it's like if we're treating it like multiple personality,
like multiple personalities.
dissociative identity, then definitely Luz Theron can access the source just by way of Rand. Exactly. Like, so that's just a different person, but still using Rand's body, physical body, I guess. And yeah, Josh is right though. Also, like, we don't know that much about channeling and whether it's like done with the physical person or the like soul of the person. So I don't know, but if we're looking at like DID type stuff, then absolutely he can. Yeah.
Luz himself says, "Clean." Luz Theron whispered, "Pure and clean again." When Rand grabbed Sidene,
so he can sense it through Rand.
And Rand says, "Oh yeah, that's right." He agrees with him. It's not like Luz is agreeing with Rand. Rand is agreeing with Luz.
Agrees with Luz, yeah.
Loyal's back. Hey, Loyal!
Oh yeah, he just happened to be finishing writing his book too, so that was fun because I was like, oh, as we near the end of this book, he's finishing writing.
No, he hasn't finished writing.
No, he says he's finishing up his book. He needs to finish his book.
That's why he's not going back to his
He's
mom.
always complaining about that he wants to be in Iran because he wants to keep writing his book. Like, that's why he doesn't want to go back to his steading.
Okay, I'll find the spot that I read.
We hear about the Great Stump. The Great Stump is meeting, y'all. Last time was 1,000 years ago, and this time it's steading Shanghai. His turn.
Okay, what is the Great Stump? And why are they meeting for the first time in 1,000 years?
We talked about it. It's like it's you know how in the Lord of the Rings,
is it like
all of the tree creatures meet and it's like really slow and they like debate for like a decade or whatever. It's the same fucking thing.
It's the same fucking thing.
It's just the Wheel of the Time version of that.
Well, but okay, yeah, right on. They're all meeting there, but Loyal's his goal was to try to disable or at least guard the Waygates, and not every steading was cool with some teenager coming up to him and saying, "Hey guys, you gotta change the Waygate." They're like, "Get a beard, youngin."
Okay, the Ent Moot. That's what it's called in the Lord of the Rings.
Moot. Okay.
Moot. Yeah.
You know, it's a and where they go is actually called the Moot Point.
They're making a moot point.
So 9 Waygates would be unwatched, and most of them. But I'm sorry. Kay, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I've nothing. No,
Oh, did you find it?
Oh, I did actually find it. And I lost it again. Give me a sec. Okay, hold on. It's on here somewhere. No, it's fine. Just give me a sec.
There were 9 Waygates that are not guarded. Most of them at the borderlands, which ain't cool. They're trying to stop Ogier and stuff, or Trollocs and stuff. Yeah, okay.
No.
Oh.
Not yet.
So
I totally lost my place. Sorry.
The plan was not completely successful, but he did what he could. He said.
Okay, so
I have my book to finish, and how can I do that if I don't see everything Rand does? I'm sure he's anyway. That's why I read it.
I have my book.
My book to finish. Yeah, but you're right. He's not like finishing the book, but that's how it's stuck in my head. You know how it goes for me.
Right, and Loyal is like he is such a country kid. He's like, quote, "Wives never let a husband go anywhere or do anything if it means leaving the steading for more than a few days."
I know.
Right, Ball Jane, right?
Right, Ball.
I mean, that's exactly his philosophy. Is like,
right? He's the Eeyore in this situation.
I gotta go have fun before I get married.
Yeah.
Which I guess there's something to be said for that. But Loyal, with the right partner, your life is enhanced.
So true.
So much. Yeah.
So true. Loyal, you just got to take the leap, buddy.
But he's like, and even Rand gets bored. He's like, yeah, Loyal. All right, get to the point. Come on. Today, Loyal. Today. But I liked Loyal's talk. I liked hearing him sitting in some tiny kindergarten chair with his knees all super high. Yeah, he's all, okay, I'll sit in this chair. Okay. So Rand, and Rand's like, yeah, I gotta go talk to Logan about shit. Anything about this POV before we jump to Cat Swain?
Let's see.
Oh, there, Josh. To your point, it says,
yeah.
So Loyal doesn't leave. Loyal did not stand. Indeed, his expression grew more troubled, ears slanting back and eyebrows drooping. Rand, there's something I need to tell you about the Aes Sedai who came with us. And that's all it says. Any thoughts?
I mean, I kept thinking about means of travel in general, and I'm sure you guys have gone into length about these discussions before, but we talk about waygates, we talk about portal stones, we talk about, the main thing right now is traveling, and of course going on foot and riding a horse, Bella. But what I'm trying to say is, why is there so much emphasis on waygates all of a sudden? Like, if the bad guys want to come, they might find a different way. Why do they think they're all going to come through a waygate?
Because of the time compression of the waygate. They can move a lot faster than.
Not as fast as traveling, but Shadow Spawn cannot go through waygates. We have learned. We learned that just, I think, this book. There was like two shows ago, I think. They had mentioned that they couldn't go through waygates. That anything Shadow Spawn could not. So I think the fastest way they can travel is the ways.
They can't do actual traveling with, a bad guy.
Oh, did I say? I didn't mean waygate. I'm sorry. I meant travel gate, like the gateways that they make.
Okay, they can't do that because they're not.
Shadow Spawn can't go through.
Okay.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that we learned that. We did learn that.
I don't recall, but
I don't remember that.
I mean, maybe. What if somebody else made it for them? Like, they can't make it themselves, but what if somebody else made it for them? Could they enter it?
No, I don't.
People are saying in chat that they can't do that. Okay, I wasn't.
Yeah, but I'm not spilling beans. I think we learned this.
I don't recall learning that, but.
No, Shadow Spawn cannot go through gateways. They can travel ways.
They can travel the ways.
Oops. Sorry,
but not.
Okay.
Yeah, not like gateways. I think it was in this book.
Kills them.
I promise it was in this book. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. I don't recall learning that, but
I don't recall either. But it's fine.
We love you, chat, for knowing these things, helping us. I have a couple drinking obligations when you are.
Oh, please, Ty Sharmi.
All right. They won't tell you about any stump until you have a beard. And then fingering a narrow patch of stubble. Obviously. I got Carrie laughing on that one.
Yes.
Yes. Hung loosely. I don't know. I'm playing loose with it. So, anyways.
I got a couple. All right, Ty Sharp. Quote. Tommy called, standing up.
Nice.
All right, this one's better. Quote. The Ogier came, she said, never taking her eyes from his face.
Nice.
Quote. A brief pause and the sounds of pleasure announced her passage.
Taisha.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
And I have, quote, Logain stiffened a little more.
Nice.
That's all. Taisha. Cadswain is talking to Semetsu, talking about bonding, and she's learning that the Aes Sedai have been bonded by the Ashaman and not the vice versa. That's pretty much it.
And then Rand
she
confronts
go ahead.
Logain at some point.
Yeah, she. Slow. I'm sorry. Say that again?
Oh, later in the chapter, Rand confronts Logain about what he did.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we jump to Rand. Oh, I guess the Cadswain also tells Samita to continue to spy on Sesha. I guess that's the only other thing. And then Rand. Yes. Rand is yelling at Logain. Rand does not talk to his subordinates. He yells. He thundered, rather. It has to end, Rand thundered.
The sweetie pie.
He's like, I don't want a war. We're not going to bond any more of these people. Logain's like, well, are the Aes Sedai going to release the ones they bonded? Rand's like, nope. What's done is done. We can't do any more, though. Min, Logain, and Bashir are all in the room. Logain's like, yo, Tame told us to do it. I thought it was from you. I'm sorry. Fix your manager. Yeah, my boss told me to do it. There is talk about the creator here a little bit. And then he's like, oh, shit. That wasn't me. That was the loose end. But what he says about the creator is pretty interesting to me.
Where was this at?
It says irritably. The paragraph starts irritably. He says, what he had done made no matter to Logain. The man knew sighting was cleansed, but he could not believe Rand or any other man had done the cleansing. Did he think the creator had decided to stretch out the merciful hand after 3,000 years of suffering?
Right.
The creator had made the world and then left humankind to make of it what it would, a heaven or a pit of doom by their choosing. The creator had made many worlds, watched each flower die, and gone on to make endless worlds beyond. A gardener did not weep for each blossom that fell. And suddenly he's like, what am I doing? This isn't me. This is Luz. Is this madness, or is this I'm not going to hit it, but it's just more weirdness of, it seems like the transition is becoming harder for Rand to have that separation, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely becoming harder. Yeah, for sure.
Yep, absolutely.
Logain's like, yo, Tame is crazy right now. You better address this Black Tower thing, or you're going to have a situation way worse than the White Tower is. And Rand's like, fuck, Tame's going to have to wait. Sorry, too much on my plate. That's what happens when the world is your buffet and you get a scoop of everything. Sometimes Tame has to wait until the Bashir mentions that men ransacked his tent. This is the same thing that Dobrain had happen to him. And he thinks that they're probably looking for those seals. You know, those seals. And Rand's like, is that seventh seal still intact? Do we know if 6 broken right now? Are 6 broken? And there's just one that Rand doesn't know about?
I think so, yeah.
Gross. So Rand says, all right.
They counted them at some point.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't
wait.
remember there just being one left though.
I have a question. Isn't the blue Aja gone now? So don't we have also like? Doesn't that make it only 6 Ajas? 6.
Well, not only for people who follow Elida.
Elida has abolished the blue Aja. But
Right.
Egwene
That's
has
why
not.
the colors are different. And okay, yeah.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm,
On the stole. Never mind. Okay.
mhm.
Thank you.
Finally, Rand decides, all right, hey, this is going to be fun. You 3 random people in my place. You, Ashima. You, Dobrin, or Bashir. You, Ogier. You're going to go do a peace deal for the Shanship. Thanks. It says, quote, I can't fight the Shadow and the Shanshin at the same time. I am sending the 3 of you to arrange a truce with the Shanshin. Loyal looked like he wanted to faint. And then we go to Elza. Elza is listening to a report from her warder. She's like, yep, you did the right thing. It would have been taken as odd if you didn't say, yeah, we should go back. Yes, you did great.
Where have we seen Elza before? I don't remember.
We saw Elza just... Elza was guarding Rand's door.
Oh, thank you.
She was the one who Cat Swain is like, oh, she's a little psycho.
Mm-hmm.
She's not even deferring to me.
Right.
She's fully on board with Rand. And we see that she is. She is like psycho for the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah.
But she's also a dark friend. How could the Great Lord defeat him there if he isn't at Tarmangaiden?
Mm-hmm. She's also going to punish her warder, though, and muffle his screams.
She's a bit of a sadist.
Well, punishment only required her to mask the bond so she did not share his pain. That and a warrant to muffle his screams.
I mean, it's similar to the Chosen that we it's not Samael, the female one who's the torturer.
Grendel?
No.
Semiraj?
Semiraj.
Okay. Semiraj, yeah.
Dana says Elza is the dark friend who swore to Rand after Dumais Wells.
Oh.
Yeah, Semiraj. Thank you, Debbie.
So yeah, she is, and I assume that this is orders, right, from her handler.
Okay, so
But maybe Baron's her handler.
Yes.
if Elza is Black Aja, does this talk about the purpose of the Black Aja is to make sure the Dragon Reborn reaches the last battle so he can be defeated?
Yeah, looks that way.
Or at least that's her
Interpretation.
Who knows, right?
I like that though, Carrie. That's a good.
Well, I mean, like she talks about like kill anyone who threatens the Dragon Reborn. It seems like a contradiction. The Black Aja would be wanting to kill him, but it sounds like they just want to keep him alive.
But we've heard that over. Even Rand knows that he might be being put into place to be defeated. It's a common theme that we've seen throughout the novels that people are like, oh, maybe the Dragon Reborn just has to be there in order to die so that the Great Lord can win. This isn't the first time we've seen this.
Just makes my head spin trying to think about all this.
Right?
I hear you.
The Lord, remember the Lord of what the Lord of Chaos is. Right? They're like, essentially the Dark One, the Great Lord is like, fuck shit up so that things can propagate and get to the point where the collision happens.
How many Forsaken would have tried to kill Rand at Dumais Wells if Cad Swain and her defenses, and the others weren't there. And so why would the Black Aja have a different goal unless that's just chaos? I don't know.
Well, we've seen that. We've even seen that for some of the Forsaken. When Moradin or whoever it was, who was the invisible person at a couple of books ago, like who was sowing chaos specifically, right? I think it's at the end of Lord of Chaos. It's why the book is called Lord of Chaos.
Are you thinking of when all those Dark Friends showed up for a meeting and then got like...
No, I'm thinking of when Grendel and Samael appear in front of someone. There's another invisible watcher, which is Moradin, who uses the true power and says something about the Lord of Chaos. I forget exactly.
Let the Lord of Chaos rule?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
It's that line. The Watcher. Yeah, Dana's right. Yeah,
so much food for thought, guys. Is there anything with any of these chapters, any of this week that we missed or you want to touch on at all?
I had a question about the end of, I think it was the second chapter there with Pervara. She had a message or a note that she pulled out at the end that somebody said was important, but then Pervara doesn't like, or no, somebody says wasn't important, and then Pervara thinks it's important, but I didn't really understand.
It'll change the world.
Yeah.
I think it's the news of the Ashaman bonding the sisters.
Right.
I think that's what it's implying. But it took me a minute to figure that out because the next POV talks about them bonding the sisters.
Oh, okay.
So I think she's learning.
I couldn't figure out what it meant.
Yeah, it was very interesting when I first read that too. I was like, what are they talking about? We don't know. And then you keep reading and it's like, oh, I guess I can read between the lines and think that it's the news that they bonded the sisters because not everybody knows yet.
Okay. Cool.
Let me ask you guys, we had quite a few different points of view. Which one did you enjoy most? We had Cadswain, we had Alviarin, we had Pavara, we had Rand, and we had Elsa.
Definitely my favorite, but I enjoyed having a Pavara POV.
Alviarin because of the Black Aja. And I like her thinking that she's in control and then she's suddenly not in control. I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Is she a double agent?
I don't think so.
Alviarin?
My question for the end of where we're at right now is Luz Theron ultimately going to merge with Rand?
Yeah,
or take over Rand's body? Like, if Luz Theron is less mad because the taint has been cleansed, what does that imply about his and Rand's relationship?
Oh.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I have no idea.
I mean, it's complicated for sure.
Yeah.
That opens another question. Does the removal of the taint remove madness that has accumulated?
Like, what has changed since...
Yeah, so are the Ashaman no longer going to go mad? We also learned that the male channelers used to be called Aes Sedai. That was something we learned in these chapters too. I forget who it was, but someone was reflecting like
Pavara, I think.
Pavara, yeah, men who could channel used to be referred to as Aes Sedai.
I think that was mentioned in Shadow Rising.
Yeah, I think we knew that men and women channelers were Aes Sedai until the whole thing. But they were both. So I think that might have been.
The men were only degraded once the taint was there. So that implies that whatever reason the quote Aes Sedai, the female Aes Sedai, had for smothering males who can use the one power are now gone. Right.
And instead of just rejoining and becoming Aes Sedai again, they're all just bonding each other.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. It's a crazy weekend.
Go
We
wild.
got drugged. We all just bonded, man. It was
What happened in
great.
Vegas stays in Vegas.
Mm.
All right, so let us wrap this up like a biscuit at McDonald's. So we're gonna do it real quick.
Like a little honey biscuit. Wait, what are those snacks that they make? Those honey snack thing. Honey cake thing. What's that one thing they make?
Honey cake? I know they have apple
Oh,
pies.
the apple pies.
No, not McDonald's. Sorry. The
Oh.
Wheel of Time.
Honey
Oh,
cakes.
That was
yeah.
really not clear. Okay.
Meat pies.
No,
All right, next week we are doing 4 chapters, 25 through 28. The week after that, we are finishing this bad boy and throwing it
There
onto
you go.
the bookshelf.
Thank you, Wadaholic.
The pyre.
Yeah, we only have just over 100 pages left, so we got this, guys.
How you doing?
Okay. So this. Okay, I'm trying to put this into words. This thought. If Luz Theron is insanity, fuck. How do I put this into words?
Okay. No, you can do it, Josh.
If Luz Theron is insanity, is Rand becoming Luz Theron the equivalent of him losing to the Dark One? Like,
Mm-hmm.
is Rand becoming Luz Theron the thing that signifies that Rand has lost? So, like, I've been on this theory that Rand is unique, and that this turning of the wheel. Fuck, this is so hard to put into words.
You got it.
This turning of the wheel is Rand being unique, emerging as an emergent property, breaking the wheel. What if the battle is always between Luz Theron and his insanity and killing everyone that he loves, and therefore losing Tarmangaiden, essentially, or whatever, and the Rand, which is the non-mad, successful half. Does this make any fucking sense?
I
Yes.
love this. Yes, it does. Keep going.
So
I mean, that's where I'm at. I don't know how to dig it further, but like, there's some opposition. Like, rather than Rand being unique, it's just that Rand is the not mad version of the hero who doesn't kill everyone he loves and therefore is successful rather than failing.
Yes.
nice.
Also, if he does turn into Luz Theron and that's like the equivalent of the Dark One, it would make a whole lot more sense, honestly, for him to like go up against the Dark One as
Right.
Theron. He'd be much more powerful, right? Like, in theory, I think, because he seems to be like the more experienced one, the more like ruthless.
And what does that say if he is
Yeah.
more experienced? Does that mean that more often than not he's failed?
Yeah, I mean, he's failed up until now, right? I mean, well, I guess the Dark One's imprisoned, but like he hasn't been able to like fix anything or cleanse the fucking taint. I mean, that's Rand,
Just
right?
that's really.
Do
a
we
great
do we
freeze
think
frame
that
up.
Luz Theron is going to be more cohesive and less mad now that the taint is gone?
I think so. And we've already seen that happen. That's what these chapters show us.
Yeah.
we saw one thing. We saw.
No, we see several things where Rand is like, "Oh, that's Luz Theron's thoughts. They don't seem crazy anymore."
Right.
He's like, "Oh, that's just me," but it's Luz Theron.
yes.
Mm.
Rand no longer has the madness to push against as the thing that separates him and Luz Theron.
Mm.
What do you? Well, then what does he have to? How does he resolve lose to?
Right,
Wow.
Ryan. Exactly. Do they just become one now? Like, if Luz Theron isn't mad, how does Rand stop Luz Theron from taking over? Does it make it harder? Does it make it easier? Does it change anything? I don't know the answer. I'm just thinking out loud here.
Yeah.
No, I like it.
Could
I
it
like it.
that Rand needs to surrender to Luz in order to really become the dragon?
Maybe that's another very good question.
Right?
Or does surrendering to lose means that he kills everyone he's ever loved and fails?
Well, I think. Well, right. I mean, I don't know about that. I don't know. Fucking seriously, these questions are crazy. I love this though. Well, yeah. To your point, also, I told you to kill them all when you had the chance. Luz there and laughed. I told you, right? Like that's like the big part in this whole chunk. I think for me, that really speaks to what you're talking about, though, Josh.
And Luce Theron even says, I forget who pointed it out this show, but don't trust anyone, including me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last question here. Should Rand be following all of Luz's advice?
Or should
Some
he be
of
pushing it? Yeah, fuck. It's such... Ugh. I don't know.
Guys, I love this! All right.
Absolutely.
All right.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's put a bow on this and put it in the mail. We will be back next week with another exciting episode. We're doing 25 through 28, 60 pages, and then we get to the end. So, yeah. And we start with Perrin again, so we get some main characters back.
Sweet.
Amazing.
Looking forward to it.
What are you doing, Kate?
So thanks everyone for coming. I love you and I'm proud of you always. Have a good weekend. Stay warm. Stay warm.
Or not. Go out in the sun.
No, stay warm or go inside and get some air conditioning. That's what I meant. Yeah. Read and fuck off. We love you. Run for your life.
Take care.
Time. Okay. Bye. Love
Bye,
you.
guys.